Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ZMC TV. My name is Abdullah Al Mamun, solicitor of the Senior Courts of England and Wales, specializing in UK immigration, asylum, human rights, British nationality, EU law. I'm going to give you some generic information. The people, or if you say the students willing to study and come to study in the United Kingdom. These are the basic and generic information. Why am I telling you this as basic and generic information? Because to give a specific and particular advice on a specific issue, the legal advice, sometimes we need to see the person and see the papers and discuss with them and understand their problem. Then we can advise on a particular or specific issue. This is why I'm saying that this is basically intending to give you the basic and generic information. So as you know that already, that UK government has changed the immigration policy, and recently what we have experienced, that there is a new immigration rules, the points based immigration system in the United Kingdom. So since it has changed a little bit, and what exactly the changes are, and sometimes we have heard that the whether student visa has changed like a lot, or it makes it easy or makes it harder for students to come to the United Kingdom. What are the scenario exactly? So this is if I go through the information and read it out to you, then you will probably have a better idea whether it is easy or harder to come to the UK or study in the United Kingdom. So these are the things I'm going to give you some brief and basic idea. As I am going to give you this information now, I will start saying that at the moment, as we all going through this global pandemic, at the moment it's a really difficult time for every one of us. So I'm sure that you are keeping yourself well and healthy and helping other people to keep them protected and keep yourself protected. So I will get on with the issue that, as I said, that I'm going to discuss about the student visa requirements, the generic information. What are the situation at the moment? And as I've taken some guidelines and the information, I took help from the UK government webpage. You can go to gov.uk as well to find out more information, the detailed information. And also other thing is, as UK immigration rules, it's constantly and regularly changing. When you do your application, or when you do work on your application, you can always do one thing, that you can speak to the consultant. You can speak to the legal consultant in terms of like a solicitor, UK immigration lawyers who is expert in this regards, and they're helping you. They can help you, and because they are experienced in this field. And also it is really realistic to check with them the latest and last update before you act on your application, because as I said, that UK immigration rules is constantly changing. So now the question is the common question people are regularly asking, that when they can make an application as a student, and how much that will cost, how much money they need to have in their bank account, and what are the age restriction, if they have any study gap, because they finish a certain level of study and then they stop and they started working or self-employed, or they did some other work, and now they try to return to the study and continue the higher education. What are the complication, and what could be done with this situation? So this is I'm going to give you some brief idea as well, and also that how much the application fee, and if you do apply, how long it will take. And these are the criteria. Basically, I'm going to give you some highlight, and the keynotes is, as I said, that UK student visa. So if I start with that, the people are already in the United Kingdom, came from the Europe. As you know that Europe and UK are separated now. The Brexit has happened, and transitional period has been ended on 31st of December 2020. Now, what are the situation if the students or the person has already set the EU national or the family member of the European national? They are pre-settled status or settled status. In their situation, they don't have to apply for student visa. Other than anyone wants to study and come to the United Kingdom and study, they need to apply for a visa. So and some people, if I say that some people already living in the United Kingdom from Europe and their family members, they still didn't apply for their pre-settled status or settled status. They have still time up to I think 30th of June 2021. Then they can apply for pre-settled status or settled status. So if they can secure their settled or pre-settled status, they do not have to apply for student visa. Anyone apart from that want to come to the UK and continue or do their study, higher study, they have to apply for student visa. So and now the question is when to apply, when and as soon as how long before you have to think about it. It depends basically where you like to study in the United Kingdom. If you like to study in the United Kingdom, in inner London, then one thing. And if you like to study outside of the London, then it's a different scenario. And if you are already in the UK, then there is a timetable, specific timetable that when you can, the earliest you can apply. And if you are already outside of the UK, then you have to follow certain time scale as well. For example, if you are already in the United Kingdom, then the earliest date that you can apply for your course is 3 months before your course start. And if you are outside of the UK at the moment and you like to come to the UK to study, then you can apply the earliest date that you can apply 6 months before you start of your course. So what it is, like for example, you like to study in June 2021. If you are outside of the UK at the moment, then you can start process or you can make application literally now, because it says that 6 months before you can apply for you can apply and make an application. Now again, if your application is successful and you have been granted to live to enter, then when you come to when the earliest day you can come to the UK, I will give you this information as well. So as I've got now that if you are outside of the UK, you have like you can apply 6 months before to come to 6 months before the course before the start of your course date, and within the UK 3 months before start 3 months before the start date of your course. And other thing that now if you as I said that if your application has been successful and you've been granted leave to enter or leave to enter, then how long before, like the early state or when you can actually travel to the United Kingdom? It says that up to a week before, if your course less than if your course lasts 6 months or less. So for example, you have been granted for a student visa to live to enter the United Kingdom, and you are doing a course less which lasts less than 6 months or 6 months, then you can come to the UK literally a week, up to a week before the start of your course. And if your course runs, for example, lasts more than 6 months, then it says that you can come to the UK up to a month before. So even though you can apply, as I said earlier on, that even though you can apply 6 months before from the outside of the UK, but you can only travel to the UK a month before, up to a month before the your course start date. So this is the again you can ask that how much the student application fee, the immigration application fee. It's like if you're applying outside of the United Kingdom, then it's £348, that application fee. And if you are at the moment in like within the United Kingdom and you are applying for extension or switching to your switching to your visa to the student visa, then it's a £475, £475, like if you are applying from within the United Kingdom inside the UK. Then Is there any other cost? Yes, there is additional cost that when you do when you apply or make an application as a student, then you have to pay for health searches. It's called that immigration health searches. So how much you have to pay? The question is how much you have to pay for a year. So if you are a student and coming to the United Kingdom, then it says the £470 per year, the IHS fee that you have to pay £470 per year. And now your question could be another one that bank statement, the most common question that people ask, how much money do I have to have when I'm applying as a student? Or I'm already in the United Kingdom and I'm switching my another visa to student visa, or I extending my application. In this scenario, that how much you have to have in your bank account, it depends where are you at the moment. If you are outside of the United Kingdom and you are applying for the first time as a student, and then and also it depends which country national you are, because there is a certain country national that probably you don't have to follow this like a financial criteria, but home office sometimes they may ask for the further proof of evidence that yes, you can support yourself and pay your tuition fee. I will take you to this page, that how much you have to have your bank account and how long you have to have that money into your account. So uh, in the home office information guidance, it says that the money to support yourself, the financial requirements, it says that you need enough money to pay your course for one academic year up to 9 months. The amount you need to pay will be on your confirmation acceptance for studies. So it says that you have to have enough money to pay your course and support yourself. So then you can ask the question that, okay, how much then? What exactly the figure? It says that if you are intending to study in a London, then it's 1,334 pound per month up to 9 months. So 9 months, if you calculate this, the total round figure, it's 12,006 pound if we are studying in the United Kingdom. And if you intend to study outside of the London city, then outside of the London it's a little bit less. It says that 9,207 pounds, and this covers up to 9 months. So how much per month? The per month cost is 1,023 pound up to 9 months. That is total, as I said, 9,207 pound. So this is the this is the amount that I just said. It's about to pay or support for yourself, your maintenance, your accommodation. So what is the amount that you have to have in your bank account for for yourself when you do your application? Then it depends. The tuition fee that you have to pay, it depends which university you are going to study, what subject you are going to study, and what level of course you are going to do. So this is basically depends. If you are going to study, for example, undergraduation course, and you selected one university where you're going to study, that university, for example, that tuition fee comes £9,000, then this £9,000 is separate, because as it says that it is for your entirely tuition fee. So that money you have to have into your bank account or your parents' bank account. So this £9,000 that you are going to pay for the university, it depends which university, what level of course you are doing, and that money will reflect, or that money will be clearly written in your cast letter when you get the confirmation of acceptance from your university, the expected university. They will tell you how much to pay their tuition fee. So in addition to that, in addition to this tuition fee, that money I just said about that 1,334 pound, if you want to study inner London, and up to 9 months, this is something that you have to add with your tuition fee, and you have to have this money into a bank account. And how long it has to be in your bank account? It says that 28 days, 28 consecutive days, that money should be into your bank account. And for example, if you can ask me that, okay, my tuition fee may be for example maybe £9,000, and I paid £7,000. So do I still have to have another £9,000 and then accommodation cost and maintenance cost into my bank account? Now, if you, as I said, that how much to pay for your tuition fee, that will be written and reflect on your cost letter. So if you paid 7,000 out of £9,000, then which means that you are only due to pay another 2,000. So 2,000 and your accommodation cost should be in your bank account for the 28 consecutive days. So now, other thing, that how you can prove that you have the money to support yourself and you have the money to pay the tuition fee. So this is something that very basic information, that how can you prove. If you have a bank statement, obviously the bank statement will reflect that the money into your bank account, and you can get the confirmation letter and the bank statement from your bank, which will show that you have the money into your bank account. And now the other question you can ask, that well, I'm already in the United Kingdom, and or I'm coming to study in the United Kingdom, and I've been granted for 1 year visa to live to enter as a student, and I will continue my study. And do I have to show that maintenance cost again when I will be in the United Kingdom? It says that when you do not need to prove you have money to support yourself, it's clearly explained here that when you do not have to show that money to support yourself, which means that no, when you are already in the United Kingdom and you have had a UK visa for 12 months period to the date of your student visa, you must currently be in the United Kingdom. And if you are applying as a student union sabbatical officer, uh, if you are applying as a postgraduate doctor or dentist on a recognized foundation program. So these are the situation that when you do not need to show or do not need to prove that you have money to support yourself. And other thing that you can ask, when you are in the United Kingdom, can you work, or will you have a work permit when you are already in the United Kingdom? What you can do or what you cannot do as a student in the United Kingdom. So I can explain this what exactly in the Home Office guidance it says, that what you can do and what you cannot do. It says you can study, you can work as a student union sabbatical officer. You may be able to work. How much depends on what you are studying and whether you are working in or out of term time. So it depends that it says that you can study and you can work as a student sabbatical officer. Again, if you are not, for example, if you are not a student sabbatical officer, but you are just a student and studying in the United Kingdom, and how much you can work, how many hours you can work, it depends what level of course you are studying. And if you are like a term time or outside out of the term time, for example, on your vacation time, you may be able to work full time because you are not attending your course. But if you are attending your course and going to university and it's your term time, then probably there will be a limitation or restriction on your work. You will get this information when your application is successful, and you will get this terms and other leaflet which will contain that what you can do and what you cannot do during your term time or when you are on a vacation. And also other thing, that what you cannot do is clearly, again, it's written here, they cannot claim public benefits and pensions, work in a certain job, for example as a professional sports person or sports coach. You cannot be self-employed, you cannot be study at an academic or a local authority funded school. So it's nothing to be confused about. It's clearly said what you can do and what you cannot do is in this paper. And the other question you may ask, that okay, now I've heard that when a student they're finishing their course, and can they get a work permit after this after the end of the course or finishing or on completion of their course, can they work or can they stay in the United Kingdom? It's clearly, again, I would say that I will read it to you, then you will understand, you will get the better idea what it says. A new graduate immigration route will be available to international students who have completed a degree in the UK from summer 2021. You will be able to work or look for work in the UK at any skill level for up to 2 years or 3 years if you are a PhD graduate. So what it says that if you are in the United Kingdom as a student, you are studying in the United Kingdom and you are finishing your graduation course, then on completion of your graduation course from summer 2021, you will get 2 years work permit. And if you are a PhD graduate, then it will allow you to stay and you will get 3 years work permit to stay in the United Kingdom, and you can work at any skill level. There is no restriction, there is no limitation that, okay, you have to be skilled worker, you have to be global talented, and you have to find certain level of job and certain skill required. There is nothing. It's clearly saying that you can work and you can study at any skill level when you finish your graduation. As I said, that if you finish your graduation from this summer 2021, you will get 2 years work permit. And if you're a PhD graduate and completed your course, you'll get 3 years work permit. So yes, you can say that yes, one completion of your course, you will get 2 years work permit, and the PhD graduate, you will get 3 years work permit. So again, the question could be asked that what are the English language requirements? So I've got some information for you that if you are in the United Kingdom or you are coming to study in the United Kingdom, what are the English language requirements? So again, there is a two criteria: which level of study you are going to do. If you're going to do degree level or above degree level, then it says that equivalent to CEFR level B2. So you have to secure a B2 level English if you are going to study degree level or above, and below degree level is level B1. And if you are, for example, if you are studying at a degree level, so before I start the next one, I can say that is this English language mandatory? What exactly the now rule is? Because some people say, oh, do I need to English language course? Because I heard that government has changed their policy, changed their rules, and some other thing. So what exactly it says here, I'll read it to you, then you will get the answer of your question. Maybe it says that if you are studying with a higher education provider, if you are studying at degree level or above, your higher education provider can assess your level of English themselves. This means they may ask you to do a different test. So when you make an application, when you do contact with your education provider, and if it's higher education provider, they have the authority, they have the power to assess your English knowledge of English, the standard or the level you meet the requirements. And sometimes this higher education provider can ask you to take a different test. But again, I will read it to you what it says about the English language requirements. It says you must prove you can read, write, speak, and understand English to certain level on the Common European Framework of Reference for Language scale. So again, it's two sets. It says that B1 and B2. Who is taking the B1? The people or the students going to study below degree level. And who is going to take B2? Degree level or above degree level. The student wants to come. And if anyone coming from certain country, there is a name, which country, if they are coming from certain countries, they do not have to show that, they do not have to prove their knowledge of English if they have completed equivalent to UK degree in one of the following countries. So let me read this country name, then you may get some better idea again. So the country is Australia, then the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica. Uh, but I will suggest you to go to the web page sometimes when you get some free time. Then you can read all this name of the country. That will save some time. That I can give you more information on different areas. And I was intending to give you some information on standard general standard visitor visa, if I can, if time allows me. That because this time limitation, so the time given me, I will try to go through some information when I finish this information giving you on student visa. So the next question could be whether you can extend your visa. Yes, you may extend your visa, and when you are in the United Kingdom as a student, and if you are on a different category visa, then whether you can switch to student visa. This is something I will read it to you again. And what are the documents at the moment you need if you are coming to the United Kingdom as a student? So it is here, it says what are the documents. So first thing, that your current passport or other valid travel document. So you need passport or travel document so that you can make an application and travel to the UK legally, and a confirmation of acceptance for studies from your course provider. So where you are going to study at university or education provider, they should give you the CAS letter, which is a confirmation of acceptance for study. So these two things is first priority, it says here. And you may also need to provide proof you have enough money to support yourself and pay for your course. This will vary depending on your circumstances. Why this will vary depending on your circumstances? Because how much money you need to have in your bank account, as I explained earlier, that where you're going to study in the United Kingdom. If you're going to study in the United Kingdom in a London, there's a different cost, and outside of the London is different cost. Again, which university? Because and also that what course or what level of study you are going to do. Different university has different course fee. So that's why it depends which university and what level of course you are doing and where exactly you are going to study. That literally depends how much money you have to have in your bank account and how much money you have to show that you have in your bank account. And the proof of parental or other legal guardian consent if you are under 18. So if you're under 18, then you have to have the consent from your both parents. Or if you are under supervision or under guardianship, then you need the guardian consent from your guardian. And your tuberculosis test, which we know easily says that TB test. You need to have your TB test, because anyone coming to the United Kingdom and wants to stay more than 6 months, they usually need to give this proof that they have a tuberculosis test done. And the written consent for your application from your financial sponsor, if you have received sponsorship for your course fees and living cost in the last 12 months. So if you have received some sponsorship from different person, somebody sponsoring you, then you have to have that in written, and the consent paper and the proof that if you have received this sponsorship in the last 12 months. So this situation that we have to follow. And again, another question that you may ask, that whether you can bring your dependent with you, and do you need to show additional money, or the money you have already, I explained, and it will cover your cost. So what it says here, that your partner and children may be able to come to the UK or stay longer in the UK. So if what it is the situation, you must be one of the following. So it says that a full-time student on a postgraduate level course, which is level 7, it says RQF level 7 or above, regulated qualification, it's in bracket, that lasts 9 months or longer. So if you're coming to study and full-time student, and your course is above, or your course is level 7 or above, and your course will last 9 months or longer, and in this if you meet this criteria, then your partner and your children may join with you in the United Kingdom. Or the other one, a new government sponsored student on a course that lasts longer than 6 months. If you are a government sponsored student, government sponsored, and you're doing a course which is more than 6 months, then your partner and your children may join with you. Or if you are a doctorate extension scheme student, clearly it's three criteria: that full-time student, which you are studying level 7 or above, and the course lasts 9 months, more than 9 months, and you are a new government sponsored student and your course lasts more than 6 months, or the other one, a doctorate extension scheme student. And how much money you have to have additional? It says in addition to your cost. So how much money they need depends on where they will be studying. They must have either for 845 a month for up to 9 months for courses in London. Again, it's London and outside of London. So it depends on where exactly you are studying at the moment. So it says for 845 a month for up to 9 months. So 9 months and 9 months up to the 9 months you have to have that money, and total it comes £7,605. And if you are studying outside of the UK, sorry, outside of the London, then it's £680 per month up to 9 months, and the total is 6,120 pounds. So yes, if you are a student and studying in the United Kingdom, your course is a level 7 or above, then you have to have that money as well, and your partner and children can join with you to stay in the United Kingdom. And basically, uh, if you are a student, then this is my personal experience that I'm going to share with you. That if you're a student and you like to come to the United Kingdom, the first thing that you must start with, or you have already decided what course you are going to do. The first thing that you can start with, what course you are going to do, which university you're going to study, and whether you are going to study in the in London or outside of the London. Then you can start contacting with the university and see if they are doing that course, and see if you meet the requirements, and if they ask you to do English language test or different test they asking you to do, and how much money you have to have. So it's always better to start thinking ahead, that whether you're going to study. And the other one, the question, some people they ask, and it's also a common question. For example, they complete a certain level of study previously, and there is a gap because once they completed their study, or they were studying, and all of a sudden, or with intention, they started another job, or being self-employed, and now they want to come back to study. What is the process? Or they ask, can I start my study again, because there is a gap, reasonable gap. So what shall I do at the moment? So what I think, that if you have a gap between your study and then you did certain job, or you were engaged in doing something else, then if you have that reasonable experience, so for excuse that you had a little gap and you want to come back to study, I believe, I can say that you may probably contact your university and see if they accept that gap, and they offer of a place. So that gap, as I said, if you are employed or self-employed, or you did something else, then have that proof, and discuss with your education provider, and see if they consider or your application, that you want to come back to your study. This is the best thing I think that you may do. That I think I'm repeating that you may contact your education provider. Look, I have a gap, and I did that level of study, and then I started my work, and these are the proof. Or I started being self-employed. These are the proof. Or I had to look after my family. And now I want to continue my study. So what are the options available, what you can do for me? So in this scenario, the university or the education provider, they may assess your qualification and your study gap, and they may take action necessarily, and they may offer you suitable advice on this as well. And I'm going to finish now. Before I finish, what I can say that thanks so much for being a good audience, and thanks so much for being patient and watching this video along with me. And thanks for on behalf of the ZMC. And throughout this pandemic, we are all struggling, and we are all trying to keep protected one from another, and trying to be safe. And I wish you all the luck in the world, and I wish you all the best. And I would request you to stay safe and stay protected. Thank you so much for watching.